as a profession. This is a very fascinating field of study. It needs full-time dedication to the profession. You must be able to work long hours, study pile of books and law reports, as it is mostly based on written history and written documents. It provides one with various career opportunities. Careers such as being an attorney appearing before the courts of law, advocates, magistrate, judge, or legal advisors. A legal advisor is a person who advises the public and some stakeholders such as companies in legal matters without appearing in a court of law. Enjoy. Welcome colleagues. This is Pumlani, the Managing Director of the Student Mover. Today we'll be focusing on law as a profession. We are joined on this first episode by Mr. Sakumzi Pasiwe, who is also an attorney by profession. He will be introducing himself further. Mr. Pasiwe, welcome on our show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, Mr. Kulama. Thank you for having me.
Yes. We will be dealing with law as a profession today.
Yes.
We are an association that deals with career guidance for matric students.
Yes.
Our aim is to ensure that learners, before they consider taking any career, they are equipped enough on the information pertaining to that particular career.
Yes.
Hence we've invited you today to join us in unpacking the legal profession. We often hear about lawyers. Some of us only think of lawyers or see lawyers as people who are just good liars, or rather professional liars.
Yes.
I think maybe if that is true, you will assist us today.
I will try my best.
Yes. Look, if only we may ask, what do we mean when we say someone is a lawyer?
Well, when you say someone is a lawyer, you mean I'm going to be focusing on the practical part of it. A person who's practicing law, a person who has studied and qualified to be that particular legal practitioner. It's either an attorney or an advocate. So there are requirements to be either of them. So that particular person, when admitted as a legal practitioner by the relevant institutions, like for instance the High Court, that particular person can proceed to practice as a lawyer, meaning that he will be representing people who are seeking legal assistance in various disputes. As you know that on our daily, lives, we experience challenges, some legal challenges, etc., etc. But then, if you are not familiar with the legal fraternity or legal disputes, you need to have a legal representative. It's either an attorney or an advocate. Then that person is a lawyer.
Okay, now, fortunately, good enough, I hear you mentioning some admission, lawyer, and advocate, and attorney. Is there any difference between these?
Yes, I understand that there is a new act concerning the legal practice.
Yes.
But then let me make it simple. I'm going to be focusing on the old act.
Yes.
Yes, I know there are these new developments. An attorney, in most cases, it's a person who is practicing, having an office, being admitted by the relevant institution, having passed a board exam, and actually starting by doing his articles after obtaining his LLB degree. Obviously, you will be going to law school, and if maybe you did not attend law school, then you will have to do your articles for 2 years. And then if maybe you did attend a law school for a period of 6 months, it will be a period of 1 year doing your articles as an article clerk. Thereafter, you will have to write what we call a board exam.
Yes.
For your admission. Immediately when you become admitted as an attorney, you can practice by following requirements as per legislation, like for instance the Attorneys Act.
Yes.
I know you must have a trust account, yes, because you will be dealing with clients. But on the other side, an advocate is normally a person who deals with litigations, like for instance, who normally attends court in most of the time. Same applies with him. He must have a qualification that is an LLB degree, and then after that they go to what we call they apply for they attend a let me call it a school whereby they become, it's like they do things practically at the bar, for the bar, preparing them for the bar. Now, I believe it's a period of 8 months whereby they attend that school. We have Pretoria Bar and we have Johannesburg Bar. And then after passing that, obviously, there are certain steps you have to follow before admission. You will have to write your pupillage. Mm-hmm. Then after that, you go for your admission. In most cases, advocates are getting briefed by the attorneys. In order for an advocate to go and represent someone, they'll usually get a brief from an attorney. Clients, they normally consult with an attorney, and then an attorney briefs an advocate. But then there are new developments pertaining to that. Yes. It's just that people are not yet familiar with those, but there are new developments, there are new implementations whereby a client will now have direct access to consult with an advocate, and an advocate going to court and represent such client without starting the route or following the route of a brief. Okay. So both those people, an attorney and an advocate, are legal practitioners, even though their title are not the same, but then they are legal representatives, you know. Basically, that's the difference between them.
Okay, thank you. You know, I hear you mentioning some articles and law schools.
Yes.
Yes. So now, let's say, here I'm a student.
Yes.
I just completed my LLB degree.
Yes.
Now, I am going for this training.
Yes.
Which you mentioned that it's 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You call it articles.
Yes.
Is it, I'm attending school here, or what? Is it, am I getting paid, or still I am at school, or what's happening?
Normally what happens, there's a contract that you enter into between an attorney who is practicing, yes, when you are doing your articles. And then there is, I don't know whether to call it a stipend or an incentive, but then there is something that you get while doing your articles until such time you complete the period specified. Yes. It's either, as I've mentioned previously, 1 year or 2 years, depending on whether you've attended a law school. Mm-hmm. But then there is something that you get in a form of an incentive from the principal. Yes, because remember, when you are doing your articles, you have a principal, which is the practicing attorney, and you will be reporting like any other normal working person. You know, you will be attending to the office on day-to-day basis. You will be doing, actually he will be showing you, teaching you how to draft legal documents, whatever you have studied while you were doing your LLB. You'll find that that was a theory part of it. So now when you are doing your articles, that is a practical part of it, whereby you even see what is happening in course, because the practicing or your principal will be sending you, for example, with this an attorney within the law firm, or with an advocate. Maybe the advocate has been briefed. You will be as a candidate, as a clerk or a candidate attorney doing articles. You will be accompanying, not only accompanying such advocate to court, but learning as to what is going on in court. What do we talk? What do we mean when we talk about legal proceedings, being it criminal or civil proceedings?
Okay, no, Mr. Baswe, that is very informative. Now you've mentioned the articles. So where do I apply for these articles? Is there any institution or school where I apply for these articles?
Basically, the law society deals with such things, and then the candidate attorney will be getting information from his principal as to what do you do when you arrive there. Those people have been trained. They will be of assistance as to what you need to complete and what is it that you will be interrogated in terms of the practice. So there is an organization, a law society, which deals with such applications.
No, thank you. Once you've mentioned something with bars, you said that there is Johannesburg bar and Pretoria bar.
Yes.
So listen, I'm in the Eastern Cape. I want to go to the bar. So must I come to or go to Johannesburg and Pretoria only?
I don't think so. We've got East London, where you can actually you can even Google. There's a lot of branches. It's Pretoria, Johannesburg, and in the Eastern Cape, the province. It's just that I've mentioned those that are in Gauteng. But then it doesn't mean that to be an advocate you must only apply to the Johannesburg and Pretoria.
Or meaning that in all provinces.
In all provinces, yes, there is that body which can then assist a person who desires to be an advocate one day.
No, thank you, Mr. You seem to be so passionate about this profession. What motivated you to join this profession?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, I grew up in the dusty streets of Port Elizabeth, in the place called Soweto Sea. I used to see parents crying when in some families they get bonuses in December. Then you'll find that a father goes and buys from Ellery's, and then obviously there's a credit agreement. You need to pay some installments, but then when you fail to pay, the creditor does not smile at you. They will simply send firstly by letters reminding you to come and pay. If the situation is tough in terms of finances, remember it will be now January, February, March, children going back to school, etc., etc. So the situation is not like in December. So we will see in most cases those people those items being repossessed by the furniture shops. And as a young boy, I did not wish that to happen at my family because number one, it causes a lot of stress to your parents and a lot of embarrassment, you know. And then as I was growing, I was so curious when I see some letters being delivered by motorbike from either when it is written attorneys, then I'd be so curious to see what is in that letter. And if you look at those letters, our parents, most of them were not educated, you know, so they did not even read those letters. Mm-hmm. And you'll find that there are time frames there. It's like, for instance, a final demand. So they will just put those letters there, and then after some time, when the sheriff comes, then now it's that embarrassment. So I realized that it is a problem of, if I can call it, a lack of legal background or legal knowledge as to what are the steps that can be taken by your creditor. And some of the instances that made me to be so curious and so interested in studying law, it was a situation whereby I saw one of my uncles losing a garage, you know, an engine garage, and then I did not understand what was, because they were saying he is being sequestrated. Okay. And I didn't understand what is sequestration, why are they taking this, why are they taking that, why are they auctioning his cars, all the stuff. So I realized that our black communities, they are still short of these let me say, candidates who can study these things and come back to the community or convey the knowledge that they get with regard to law. Because we simply look at these things on TV, but practically we do not understand them. That is why that made me to say, okay, fine, let me apply and do law. I want to know the civil procedure. By then I did not see most people being arrested. I was just looking at things like neighbors losing their cars, neighbors losing their furnitures. So, and they will be saying, no, but we sent the letter, and the guys will be saying, yes, we received it, but they did not understand what was contained there. And the issue of saying, let's consult a lawyer. I remember my neighbor went to a place called Costin in Pile Attorneys. And then he was telling me that those are the guys who open his eyes as to when you buy something, please make sure you pay according to the agreement. So there's a lot of things involved. You can name them. Okay. Law is very broad. It's a very broad and a fascinating profession as well.
Okay. So how are you finding it now? Now that you're in a profession, this is what you've been wishing for since your childhood. Now you're in the profession.
Yeah.
How are you finding it?
You know, it's very challenging, very fascinating. Look, it's not easy to see a couple separating and leading to divorce or divorcing, let me put it that way. There was a stage whereby I consulted an old couple, and I was asking myself, as young as I am, how do I advise these old people? But I could see that there were like reasons that were raised by the plaintiff, which is the woman in that case, to say that I can't stand this. So there are those challenges. You sometimes you even feel like, what if this was my parents, you know, your biological parents? And then the other thing is that you need to, as a legal representative, I don't want to agree with this thing of liars. I just want to say, when a person has done something, you need to check first what happened, the facts of the case, what led him to do 1, 2, 3. You need to come out with a way of defending that person, in the sense that if he says I was saving my daughter's life then I ended up killing. Therefore, those are the things that you need to look at. Don't prejudge a client when he comes to say, yo, this is the one who killed somebody, but then he's a murderer. No, don't do that. The court of law is there to decide on whether he is guilty or not.
Meaning that you guys look at the reasons behind whatever that has transpired.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Okay, that's much good, Mr. Pastor. Now, something that we have always been coming across is that if you are too much talkative, and in school, you might say if you are too much, you are good with history, you are fit to be a lawyer. Is that true?
Well, I don't want to agree with that. Look, we've got good lawyers who were very quiet at school, and we've got good lawyers who were good in mathematics, and there was that perception that you must know history. I do not believe that lawyers must also know numbers. You know, it's very embarrassing when you are doing, for example, an estate whereby you have to deal with numbers. For instance, a deceased estate where you have to deal with numbers, that this item is costing this much, this item that much. You have to add, subtract. That is why in the curriculum of the new LLB we have they call it skills course for law students. There are judges who are commenting on that lawyers need to be familiar with numeracy. You know, it's not a matter of you're gonna be doing that on a daily basis, but remember you will be doing your invoices when you are assisting your clients' invoices. So numbers are very important. Not to say that because you did history or you were good in history. Yes. I was also good in history and Afrikaans, but there are guys who were good in maths. Today they are attorneys. So, and you've raised something of being talkative. Look, there are attorneys who are not talkative, but they are part of legal team. The legal team, if you are part of a legal team, you give ideas, you give advices. But there are those who can stand before somebody and present those advices in a very good and professional manner. So it depends. Law is not about being talkative.
Okay.
Yes.
So all lawyers go to court and speak in court or what?
Well, they do go to court, but not all of them. They go and speak there because. Remember, in a case whereby I have briefed an advocate, I'm still an attorney, I'm still a lawyer, but I'll be sitting there in court, I'll attend the court, and then the counsel will be presenting or dealing with arguments. So there's a legal mind behind the counsel as well, because without me, he can't argue. You know, I have to give him a background of the particular case. So, which means that even though I'm not going to talk in court, but I need to be there. Not in all matters, but there will be that case whereby you see this one. Let me prioritize, leave the office for 2 hours or 3 and go and attend with this counsel. I will be not the one who's talking. The counsel will be arguing.
Okay, I'm taking you back, Mr. Pasiwe. So you mean that there are no particular subjects that if I'm in metric, I must have done these subjects, or I'm doing this, or I must excel in this. There are no subjects specifications.
Well, as I know that the curriculum, they normally amend it, you know. I will speak during my time.
Yes.
There was this history thing that have you done history, and then those were the questions that were asked by the universities when you approach them, showing interest that you want to do law. I do not know whether is it because of the fact that law is based on Roman Dutch history, in
so
some
there's
history involved, and I do not dispute the fact that don't do history. You can do history; it is relevant. You can still join law with your mathematics if you want to. We've got medical practitioners who are doing legal studies as well. So I don't think it's a challenge. But then due to the fact that maybe I'm not updated yet with the curriculum of today as to specifically which subjects do you, because I remember there was a child in the Eastern Cape who once asked me that do I really have to have history when I want to do law? Then she mentioned all this biology, agriculture and other things. Then that old mentality that if you are good at agriculture, you need to go to Fort Cox, farming. So I said, no, if you don't want to do farming, you are interested in law, why don't you apply? And then the university will advise as to whether you qualify or not. So based on the amendments within the curriculum, I cannot say there are no specifics in terms of subjects when you are doing grade 12.
I hope you can hear, guys, that you do not necessarily need particular subjects. Even if you are in science, in accounting or commerce, you can still apply or consider doing law as your profession. Now, Mr. Pasuwe, you are now in university. You have been admitted, studying towards a degree. What would be your day-to-day responsibilities as a law student?
Well, as a law student, I'm going to tell you something which was said by Advocate Terry Price.
Yes.
He was one of those who was lecturing me at the university. He used to tell me that, look, if you're a law student, you must study. You cannot do law seeing that it is challenging. Remember, when you are doing your grade 12, there's no Roman Dutch law there. There is no private law there. You did your history, geography, biology. So this is new to you.
Oh, it's a new thing.
It's a new thing at all. Now you need to familiarize yourself, number one, with this terminology, because law has got its own vocab, and then you can see that this name is totally new to me. Then they will be telling me that no, this is a Latin word, this is not English. So on day-to-day basis, you need to be a good friend with the library. You need to familiarize yourself with reading cases, know how to find a case law, and know how to find a case in the law reports, because that was a challenge as well. We used to see those big law reports and you don't even know where to start until such time they tell you that no, these things are divided into volumes.
Yes.
And the years, you must know that, okay, this is volume. You must be familiar with you must know actually the case citation. You don't just go there and take one and peruse it the whole day looking for a case. For example, Santam versus Pigeon, but you need to be a good friend with a library. Library is the one that can enlighten you, because you find the articles, journals, you find textbooks, you find law reports. So immediately when you familiarize yourself with your study material, that is where you will find it interesting. Don't wait for a test. We used to call it a block test. Yeah. Don't wait for that date to come for you to say, let's say 2 days to come. I'm going to start. It's demanding, even though it can be a 50-mark test. It's demanding because you cannot write that test without a legislation or a case law. So you need to know. If they say to you section 60 of the Criminal Procedure Act, you must know what is entailed in that particular provision. If they say S versus Magwenyana, you must know what happened in S versus Magwenyana. Even if somebody wakes you up at 12 midnight, you must tell that person that, oh, okay, for bail, this is what I need to look at before assisting my client. Or the state looks at this before releasing someone who has brought a bail application. So day-to-day life of a law student, it's to me, I would say, it's just dedicate yourself, commit. I know there is one module, is one of these skills course. That module is also teaching LLB students about prioritization. Mm-hmm. If, let's say, there is a game for between Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, and then here is an assignment that has been given at the varsity, which one are you going for? Now you have, as a law student, you need to prioritize. Yes.
Now, if I hear very well, Mr. Paswe, you're saying that law, studying towards law, it's different than studying towards nursing, wherein you have done your biology at school or your life sciences, as they call it today. So when you get to university, it's a build-up of what you have studied during your matric. And in law, it's a totally new concept. So it's what I'm getting from you.
Yes, I exactly. That's what I think of, because in law, when you start your first year, for me, it's not a build-up. It's a new thing in total, because you learn about, for instance, in family law, the Latin words called consortium, and you do not know this. What is this? Yeah. Until you consult maybe a dictionary in the library to say, oh, this in English means this. Yeah. So there's a lot of new developments when you're starting at from the first year, what do you call it? First year as a first year level student.
Yes.
Going forward, it's not a build-up, because you learn new things. I understand there are stages whereby they require you to visit courts of law to see exactly what is going on. Because you normally see that on TV and they cut it before you pay full attention to it. So it's a new thing. I don't remember myself while I was doing my high school going to courts and no,
thank you. Your last words, Mr. Pansi, were only in motivating young people and our learners, those who are interested in taking this profession. What would be your last words in encouraging them about this profession?
Well, my last words will be that, first of all, they need to know that law is too broad. You can do many things with your legal qualifications. But the only thing I would like to advise learners when they join or get admitted at universities is time management towards their studies. Don't spend more time in social life, if you are a socialite, than your studies, because your studies must come first. If it's a period of 4 years, it must be, let it be a period of 4 years. Then on the 5th year, you do something else. And if maybe there is that hiccup here and there, you add 1 year extra, you say that no, I've failed 2. It's reasonable. It happens sometimes, but show some commitment, in your studies. Even if maybe you like to, I know some students like to study with a group. If you like to study with a group, make sure that your group is committed. It must not be a situation whereby if you say 10 o'clock Saturday, others will come at 2 and say, I'm sorry. then now you have to go back and start from chapter 1. And then it's time consuming for you and the others who have arrived punctually. So you need to have a lot of commitment and dedicate yourself to your studies, and don't be afraid to ask.
Yes.
Consult. There are various law firms in many places, even though you do not have law firms around your area, but if you can get some contacts, ask them, call them, those who are practicing that. In a situation like this, what do I do? I'm a student. Don't even hide that you're a student or you're a learner, so that that person gets courage that, okay, I'm mentoring someone here.
Yes.
You know, that's basically my last word, you know, to learners who are so interested in studying law.
No, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr.
Okay,
for your time.
Thank you for having me.
We hope that we have learned today on what it is to become a lawyer, what must be considered. But what we can emphasize more, as Mr. Passive has already shared with us, is that you suspend your Twitter, you suspend your Facebook and your Instagram, and you study until the end. Thank you. We'll see you on the next episode, where we will be unpacking another different profession from this one. Thank you.
So lift my head up high, open my eyes, and I will fly. Oh, I'm barely coping, I'm feeling closing, looking up, hoping the heavens will open.